مرحبا جميعا, hello Tsuzamen, всем привет, and hello everyone, Strikoder here, and welcome back to a new episode of the OSCP journey. In today's episode, we're gonna solve an easy Active Directory machine on HackTheBox called Forest, where we have WriteDACL and GenericAll rights in the Active Directory through a user that will get access to. So let's get the IP and let's get started. First of all, I always like to Infosec or export all the IB. Then let me move into here, remove everything in this directory and nmap the IB, and we see it is an active directory. So we have 53. I like to start gradually. So I will run no auth DNS, but I need the domain, so we can either use netexec. For instance, let's try noauth SMB, start with this, and netexec would tell us the domain name, which is hackthebox.local. Actually, we had access over the users, so we see a bunch of, I don't really know what are these users, to be more precise. Health mailbox, okay. I don't think they are a genuine users. We see Sebastian, Lucinda, SVC Alfresco, Andy, Mark, Santi. So probably these are our target. I'm waiting this to be finished. Or actually, I would finish that by myself. I will not wait more. Let's check results, no SMB. This, and we see cat users.txt. Here are our users. I will move that a bit below. Oops, did I? Okay, move results, then here, then users into here. Because I forgot to maybe specify. So I had an error. Okay, so here are the users. Once we have the users, we can do a couple of things. First of all, let me check Nmap and export all domain is equal to hackthebox.local. Jump forward because here was not at the end. Let me export this in here. Oops. And now everything is good. So in here we see 53, we see 88 Kerberos, we see 135.139.389.445. So we see LDAP, we see SMB and NetBIOS, we see LDAP S, we see WinRM. So I was double checking whether if we had a web server opened, but in our case we don't. So I would stick up to here, and these are our users. So we can either spray using nxc smb ip-u users.txt -p users.txt. We can spray no brute force, maybe --help, and let's search for brute, maybe. So not RID brute, no brute force, --no brute force, --continue on success. So in this way you would see administrator with administrator, guest with guest, Andy with Andy, because that's not logical to see Santi has Mark as a password unless the password was like this. Maybe we can try someone would have this kind of a password randomly generated by an application or whatsoever. But in our case, I would skip that and let's go to no auth Kerberos, and we need to provide DCIP, so the export all DCIP is equal to the IP. Then I would run no auth. So if you don't know what are these scripts, you can find them on my GitHub account on Strikoder, and we are using under the hood either Kerberos or ASREP roasting. So Kerberos is to double check and to verify whether we have these specific usernames. So actually we can use them and type users.txt to check whether these are actually valid, and okay, they are valid. We can double check using no auth LDAP. Maybe it would tell us if they were valid. So they were valid, yeah. So LDAP, I believe it's the most precise way to check if the user is valid or not. So if you in an active directory specifically, so since we see them in here, then they are probably valid. Okay. Let's get back to no auth Kerberos and let's do ASREP roasting. And we would use this file. So we see we don't, oh, we got one. So we got a hash. I'm going to copy this and then hashes.asrep. Then I would search for hashes.asrep until I find the hashcat, which is 18200, and running that on with RockU. And we found the password actually extremely fast, even though we are recording on the same device. And then or export pass is equal to this, but which user was responsible? So svc alfresco export user equals to svc. Actually, let me copy and paste his name. If you watched the login manager, we had an issue that time. So if you watched the previous episode, okay, so we have a user, we have a pass, we can now auth Kerberos and try to use this. Let's try Kerberosting and see. So no hash is found actually. Okay, we can try auth SMB and check if we could get any more information. Maybe we can get, maybe we have more access through this user. So it starts with Nmap scripts. Actually, let me, so it started. So we see shares. We have read overall. We are enumerating users again. That's not particularly like essential. We see the password policy. So password policy would need that on IRL. We see here logged in user. We see administrator is logged on. Members, we see the groups. We can take them and check if they are on default groups. And we see there is no GPP password, GPP auto login. No Wi-Fi password, no nano dump. So probably the rest would need some kind of authentication or a high privilege user. So we can stick to SMB, but now we have dash U is user, dash B is password. Let's try to authenticate local auth. I don't think so. We are not a local admin. Maybe let's try to change SMB to LDAP. Do we have high privileged user? No, we don't. Let's try maybe WinRM and we see bound. Then we can connect through EVA WinRM by using dash U user dash B password. And we are connected. Let's try this dash F. We see desktop, cd this star, then type user.txt. We get the flag and we paste that into here, not into the guided mode, but into here. Now, um, where do we go from here? So first of all, we can, I don't really know, where do we go from here? So maybe we can enumerate users, maybe net users, net groups, maybe local groups, group, okay. So probably we can check our user as well. Who am I? Who am I? Dash all. See, usually we check the privileges if we have anything suspicious enabled. Oops, we check the group names as well. If we see something that could lead us to a privilege escalation, we take maybe privilege the IT accounts, service accounts. So these are some kind suspicious. So maybe we can run BloodHound to check what do we have in here. So RustHound, I prefer to use RustHound because and SharpHound because they give you more information as other tools. So I had the same issue last time because add host IB domain. Now I run this. So it's taking a lot of time because it's retrieving a lot of objects, and now we are moving this into home. So 2026, I'm going to BloodHound CLI app, then going to launch Firefox and double check what do we have in here. HTTP localhost 8080. Let me, well, what? It should have started already. Yes. Login. Login failed. Let me browse. I updated the password. And we are here. We go into the administration. Manage user. Oops. Database management. I'm going to delete everything so no intersection would mess our data. File ingest. Upload files. Home. We see HackTheBox local. Upload. Close. So most of the time, first try, most of the time, cancels. I don't really know why. So I upload that twice and it should work. While it's ingesting, we can type our SVC. So it's still ingesting. It's a little bit big. It took a little bit of time to enumerate. So while it's ingesting, please make sure to like, share, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really supports the content and motivate me to publish more videos. So it's still ingesting. I'm going to pause a little bit. And after 20 seconds, it's now complete. So we have our SVC alfresco and we add them to owned. We go to Cypher, we check the queries. I have the saved one. ASREP, we've checked that. Kerberostable, we have nothing Kerberosted, could be Kerberosted. We check if we see any other user that we could access to in here. So this is cool. We have GenericAll into GenericAll domain admins. So maybe let's try shortest path now. And wow. So he's member of this and he's member of domain users. So this is the normal way, but member of service account, member of privileged IT, member of account operator, and generic all over almost everything, almost all users, but we need a user or a group that could go next. So we have key admins that has add key credentialing that is useless. We have this generic policy creator owners that has generic right over this and over SOM at HackTheBox and WMI policy HackTheBox. Actually, to make this simpler, we can outbound objects. We have generic rights over these. Actually, let me use another tool. Let's use the BloodHound Python. So I prefer to use the NXC BloodHound, and here, not the domain exam, it's going to use the domain. I'm going in this file, administrator, database management. I'm going to remove these because in this scenario, the Rust hound is a little bit complicated. Now we have this. Moving this into home, then in file ingest, upload file, the one that has forest upload. Now it's going to fail. Again, forest upload, and I'm going to pause. So now it is completed. Now SVC, we see after we own that shortest path, and we see the same thing almost. Service account is a member of this, is a member of this, that has generic all over all of these. but we see a WriteDACL over HackTheBox local that, well, actually HackTheBox local, which is the domain, the DC domain controller. So that's our way would be. So let's start. Maybe we can put exchange Windows permissions, HackTheBox local. So I'm going to get pathfinding HackTheBox.local. That's why I can show that better. Going to close this. So we are member of this. We don't need to do anything. That is member of privileged IT accounts. That is member of account operators. And most of the time you would see account operators most of the time have privileges more than other casual groups. So it has GenericAll, how to take uh, or how to abuse that or how to take advantage over that. We can use netRBC group add member or pathnet using the path toolkit. Uh, okay. And here for verifying. So either by a password or by the path or hash, more precisely. So BTH means hash, pass the hash. And over here we are double checking. So we are adding probably a user to this group in order to write DACL, which means a DCSync attack. We write DACL to a domain object to make the DCSync permissions, then a secrets dump usage to get the hash. Okay, that's cool. Let's get started. So we are already member of account operators. We need to use netRBC group add member. So I have that already saved in here, netRBC group add member. I've used that before. Target, but probably on another machine. So need to add the target group, target user. Actually, maybe I don't need to add target user. Let me check. Oops. Target group, target user, controlled user. So probably the target user would still the same. So I'm going to leave that. Oh, I'm going to add maybe I would change this like this, but we don't have target group. So my old target group was management department. Export target group is equals to exchange Windows permission. So I'm going to take the same account name and make this. So it failed. So I'm going to put that in a single quotation for the space. Now we can double check using the netRBC group member. Let me check. Does it have members? It has an S. Target group dash u. So there is no need for a user in here. And we see our SVC alfresco, but we need to go to the next step very fast because I believe the DC would reset everything in 5 minutes. In a 5 minute span, to be more precise. So we need to use dacledit. Dacledit. It's not in here. Dacl. Am I using the correct one? Dacl. Edit. here is it. So we have action is writes is gonna be, I believe, DCSync. So we need only the DCSync in our case, not a full permission. The principal is going to be our control user, which is in this case user. Target is going to be our control user once again. Target DN. We can remove actually the targets from here. I'm going to keep that. So export target user equals user. We won't use LDAPs. DACL backup couldn't modify object. The server reports insufficient right. So probably the DC removed us. So let me add ourselves again. Now we DACL edit that. Are we removed again? Okay, so add member, members, DACL edit. What the hell is going on? Add member. Okay, now DACL edit writes DC principal target. Maybe we won't need the target user. Actually, let's take the syntax from here. So principal, we need the principal. We have that. Domain control user pass. We need the target DN. It's going to be in here. Domain. Attribute type is not present. Okay, that's cool. Are we in the group already? No, we were removed. So add member. And let's try. Attribute type not present. Let me check my DACL edit, the old ones where I had DCSync. So here full control. Okay. So here is an old example. When I first saw the machine, it was okay. So we need to provide DC. Okay, I gotcha. So the issue that where is our lovely DACL? I mean, we are finished with those. Let me get back into here. So the issue is the target DN should be something like dc.hackthebox dc equals to local, which you can get that from here, the distinguished name. But now we won't have enough, again, enough rights. Now we are added success. We have modified the DACL successfully. Now we can do a DCSync attack, i.e. Secretsdump. let me do that again. And now we dump that. Let's get the administrator hash from the top of the list. And then eval winrm -h, actually not -u, it's gonna be administrator. And now let's get back into the desktop. Type root.txt and we made it. That was it. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time.